So when you have equipment like this, normally they will just suck out air here or in the bottom. That means the air will go around the drum, so the air will not go through the drum. That's why I added these sides to force the airstream through the drum. So the idea is that you treat the seed while you are putting a lot of air through the machine to get rid of all the spores. So the brushes will release the spores and the air will remove them. And the air is the important thing, a lot of air, as much as possible. So that's why I added these small things to force the airstream through the drum.
This is typically a machine that you can co-own a bunch because you don't use it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. If you are a seed community, share it.
I rent one once a year.
If you have that possibility, yes.
Big one.
Yes, but Vestjyterne or whatever could have one in common to share it, of course. Yeah, then of course it depends how much seed you put in. You can control how hard it will work. If you how much you open. I had some seed here. Well, I should have had a funnel.
Just dry seed, not
yes, dry seed. Yes, dry. Yes, only dry seed. Yes. Yeah. You can also I didn't mention that. Instead of having this one, you can also wash it in water. It's very effective. You can really get rid of most of the spores, 99% of spores with water. But then you need to dry it. So if you have sun like this and you have only 100 kilo of seed, then it's fine. You need to have a lot of water, really a lot. It's best if you have a river or a sea, because you need really to dilute the water to get away. But it's very effective. And also put the seed lot directly from the combined harvester, because then all the bunt balls will float and you can get rid of them by water. So water is a very good treatment, even cold water. But you need to dry it afterwards. So this is in order to avoid drying. It's just to show that it works and how much you open. It's not infected seed, so it doesn't work anyway. And then you turn up. They go that way. Yes, of course. Yes.
But can you do this with spelt and grains with husk on them too?
Yes, of course. If you have an infected spelt lot, most of the spores will be on the surface of the husk, on the healthy seed. And by brushing them, you can get rid of many of these spores. But the brush will actually also dehull, and this can be used for dehulling spelt also. But it will not be as effective as with seed, but it will help. Yes.
You said that this machine isn't actually made for this purpose, it's made for some other purpose.
Yeah, grass seed or whatever. Or oat to break, and it's also very good for barley, and particularly winter barley, where you have this awn that normally don't break at the right place. So you can put it through this and then have a nicer thing. They also use it for malting barley. To have improved germination and also to get a more uniform seed lot.
How come the grains get improved germination when it's been running through this machine? I mean, it should damage. You think that it should damage the germ,
but actually a little stratification of a seed will normally improve germination. But if it's too much, you will harm it. But a little stratification of seed is often beneficial for germination.
What's the mechanism behind
They have a
Get into the garden
yeah.
quickly.
You make small holes in the bran, and then water will easier imbibe. Yes.
So you can reducing steeping time then by doing that?
Yes. Yes. So for your malting plant, you should consider that. Yes.
But do you think it's a good idea to do that with all your seeds, depending, well, even if you don't have this bunt, or
Yes.
but it's a good thing to do with all seeds?
Yes. Yes. Because the threshold and the detection level of bunt is almost the same. So even you say the seed is analyzed, we don't have spores. Maybe you have spores just below the detection level. So this treatment will remove the spores that you don't see, and so you will. Yes, I will recommend it to use it on all. If you have the machine, I will use it on all seed, and I will also use it before putting it into the mill, because you will also remove a lot of dust and other fungal diseases. I mean, fusarium, many of these penicillium, they are on the seed surface. So if you brush them before going into the mill, you will reduce the mycotoxins in the flour. For the vinegar treatment and Tillicur or whatever, of course, if you have a seed plant, then you have proper equipment for it. But for home-saved seed, I just use a cement drum like this. Normally, at home I would use a duster. I don't have a duster here, so but this is vinegar from the kitchen. Can you hear that it changes the sound? Because it gets humid. So it sticks a little to the fingers. This means this is about 30 milliliters, so this is too much. Sorry about that. You can measure it before you throw it in, but you should feel how much it is, and this is too much. It should be humid but not wet. So if it's like this, then I think it needs drying. So then you will just put it on the floor. And you remember what I said, 25 seconds. This is, it will survive, but this is slightly too much. But you can feel it and you can hear it. Now it changes the sound. It's not dry seed, now it's humid seed, and then you can stop the treatment. And the vinegar, as I said, it's evaporating. It's either going into the seed or it's evaporating. So it will all be gone. After evaporation, there's nothing left. It's not a salt. It's not some other acid. I tried also with citric acid. Citric acid, that you can control more precisely. But you don't remove it afterwards because it's getting salty. So it will be a chemical on the seed surface, and that will harm germination. But this will evaporate, and then the problem is solved.